Hi Internet, this is my attempt at making a de-influencing video. I hope it helps somebody. I want to show you how easy it is to say no to products and different ways to think about products. So I found this Buzzfeed shopping article here. It is from March 15, 2025. So I think these products are still relevant. It is the holiday season, and I'm pretty sure some of these items are still kind of like viral or highly coveted. Okay, so the title starts with 29 products that are like little upgrades for things you do every day. Okay, the first one is a mulberry silk pillowcase. It's supposed to help you with less frizzy hair in the morning. I will say that satin also does a really good job at this. So you do not need to spend $50 on a silk pillowcase. It's also recommended to change it every couple of days, especially if you have oily skin and things like that. So let's say you do your laundry once a week. You would need at least 2 pillowcases per week, right? Again, if you have oily skin especially. So under $50, so you would need to spend about definitely more than $50 on pillowcases in order for this to work. Also, silk can be quite delicate. And as somebody with frizzy hair, or sorry, naturally curly hair, and as somebody who has owned all of cotton, linen, satin, and mulberry silk, I will be the first one to tell you that it doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so I want to say if you do have textured hair that does get frizzy, I would actually recommend a silk bonnet that you can wear to sleep. They are kind of pricey, but to be honest, I don't think you need to change those out as much. Okay, I'm just being honest. I think that's a much better investment. It'll go directly on your hair. Yeah, I have one myself, and I find that to be way more effective than an actual pillowcase. Alrighty, so that was the influencing for the mulberry silk pillowcase. The second one, dog bark deterrent whistle. So I would say improve dog training, because I have heard that some of these can be a little bit unethical. They can hurt dogs' ears. And I read something here about not having to punish your dog, and instead do this. I have read elsewhere that these can actually hurt your dog's ears. All right. This one, a wireless keyboard and mouse set. And it also mentions that you need some AA batteries. If you are going to get wireless keyboard and mouse, get one that's USB chargeable. And if charging it and also doing the replaceable batteries doesn't work, just get a wired mouse. This is going to be extra work. I have a wireless keyboard myself, but I also have a USB charge option that I can just turn it into a wired keyboard basically, and not have to think about charging it for weeks at a time. Depending on how I use the keyboard, sometimes I like to lean back in my chair and just put it on my lap for ergonomic reasons, and in that case it's already charged. So don't recommend this for everybody. It depends on the kind of person that you are, how you maintain your electronics, things like that. Not everybody wants something to maintain, so just think about that. 4 shower curtain clips. This feels like one of those things that you might need because it's a usable item, but unless you're taking a 1 hour or 2 hour shower, like I don't see how this is beneficial. This is just another thing to clean. It's likely going to get moldy or have mildew on it, and it's just not worth the aesthetic cost or the cleaning cost. This is going to take more energy than it's worth. So keep the steam in and the cold air out. Just close your window and let your, I don't know, shower go on for a few minutes in hot mode, and it'll warm up your bathroom and you'll be fine. I have a relatively smaller bathroom, so the bathroom stays like steamy for a long time with a 15-minute shower. Like my showers usually don't pass more than 15 to 20 minutes. If I'm washing my hair, maybe a little bit longer. But this just seems a little unnecessary. I want to say unless you're camping outside and like below freezing temperatures or something, like it just doesn't seem like an everyday product for the everyday person. So, okay. Porter seal tight glass container. There's something about silicone on glass that just like doesn't make sense to me. Again, moldy and just unnecessary. I'm sure you have something like this in your house that is easy to clean. And I read that it's almost unbreakable or something like that. Where was that? Okay, they're nearly break proof. That's what it says. Yeah. So they're not actually break proof. Just get a plastic container that's actually break proof. It's also lighter. That's another thing I've noticed about collecting like various vessels over the years. It's just that aluminum and glass, they tend to have dents in them, or like they get dented easier. Just look for like a BPA free plastic, okay? Plastic is lighter, aluminum and glass is heavy. Now, if you're trying to keep your food at a certain temperature, I think aluminum with like an ice pack or something, or those lunch bags, it works the same way, and it's not breakable and it's lighter. I prefer not to use glass. I try to stay away from glass as much as possible. Minimalist vibes, so just a trendy item. Stoneware bowls. These are remarkably heavy. When I first moved out, we got these as a gift, and I ended up just getting rid of them a few years later because they're very heavy, they're hard to wash, and just really breakable. Like if you're somebody with weak wrists like me, this is kind of uncomfortable, and I'm pretty sure your plates are just fine. But yeah, they're just super heavy, and yeah, they do feel a little more upscale to use. They are fun to use and they're really pretty, but just not worth it, honestly. Okay, eyeliner with wing stamps. This is very limiting, especially if, you know, there's days where you want a longer cat eye or a shorter one. Like this is not something you need. You can do it yourself. It doesn't really take that much time. And this seems like something you would have to keep, like you would have to clean and do over if you place the mark at the wrong place. So yeah, I think this is a waste of money and time. Your eyeliner will work just fine. Shower steamers, under $1 each, but with tax it comes up to around $30 a month if you do use this every day. I do see this as a specialty item. I feel like there's so many other ways to open up your sinuses. And also sometimes these shower steamers, they leave like a residue on your bathtub, especially if they have pigment in them. Don't really recommend. There's a bunch of different stuff you can use. Also, like I mentioned, like if you leave the hot water running for like a few minutes before jumping in your shower, it'll have the same effect, right? It's not like it won't soothe your sinuses perfectly or whatever. There's so many options to open up your sinuses without spending about $30 a month. Right? These also take up a lot of space. They're hard to store. I wouldn't even keep these in the bathroom, honestly, because every time you take a shower, even if you don't use them, I feel like they can get moldy. I used to make bath bombs, and I think they're made very similarly. When I used to make bath bombs, I just remember like after not using them for a long time, or even like store-bought bath bombs, they would just get moldy after time when I would leave them in the bathroom. So Don't recommend. Now I want to say again, this is a specialty item if you do want to treat yourself once in a while, kind of like with the bath bomb. I would say just buy a smaller pack. I recently bought like a pack of like 6 for a couple dollars from Marshall's. They're like lavender scented. They all smell like eucalyptus to me. I don't know what it is. But I use it as a specialty item for if I want to have like a special shower or just like mix things up. If you want to try them out, wonderful, but especially at this price point, not worth it. Okay. A baby shusher. I have no comments on this. I feel like if you like humans, we can make the sound ourselves. I don't see the point of something like this. Anything that gives you time back. This is just so weirdly worded. When you have a baby, makes an enormous difference, including not having to shush them through their entire nap. Parents, do you actually have to shush your infants through their entire nap? I've babysat before, and this is just weird to me. This is a completely unnecessary product. It reminds me a lot of that dog whistle. It just seems weird. Okay, an insulated tumbler. As somebody who purchased Stanleys for the first time this year, don't buy a Stanley. They leak. I only bought the ones that remind me of the Victoria's Secret Heritage stripe. That's the only reason I bought them. But they're honestly a god-awful product. I do not regret my purchase, but I just, like, if for some reason they come up with a design that I'm absolutely like obsessed with, I'm probably still not gonna buy it. Not again. There's also just better vessels. I find that this is great, like a vessel like this, like that Stanley style, I guess you would call it, is great if you have like if you have to go on a long drive, or if you drive often, or like you have a car, okay? And a lot of people who own Stanleys don't have to drive. There's no cup holder in sight. These things topple over. They're top heavy. I just personally find them not to be the most practical item for me because I don't drive. But I feel like most people don't need this. There are so many bottles that can fit in your car holder anyway that won't leak. So yeah, not the biggest fan of these. I've had bottles that have kept ice for more than 12 hours. So yeah, don't recommend tumblers. Get a water bottle. Oh, and also I did make a video about the Awala. I did have to make it private because the bottle just kind of fell apart. The springs on top came loose. So don't get an Awala either. Just look for something else with a thinner aluminum or a plastic. Unless you're gonna put a lot of ice, it's gonna sweat. The condensation is not the funnest thing ever, especially if you're putting it in your bag. Look for a thinner aluminum bottle. That's my recommendation as somebody who's owned many bottles since high school, and I've been alive a long time. So yeah, tumblers, not the best. Okay, soap standle. So apparently this helps you make your soap last longer, better than a soap dish. It has teeth that you basically plug into your soap. This does not make any sense to me because the soap around the teeth is gonna eventually melt off, right? When that water goes through. So if it is drying on one side of the soap bar and water gets around these teeth and melts down the soap, the standle will get loose. Like I really don't understand this product. Just use a soap dish, okay? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It seems like a usable product, so it's tempting, but you'll be fine. You don't need that. An acrylic dry erase wall calendar. Now with these, I find these to be very limiting. I would recommend just getting a dry erase board and just setting up your own calendar. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks here, obviously for, you know, other days of the month or whatever. but that kind of limits you in how much you can write in each one. These are also very heavy and they can be kind of shiny too. I would also recommend a chalkboard. I just wouldn't recommend something like this. Like, you don't need this. It's better to find something that you can actually customize. Because I've seen these in person. I'm a huge stationery lover. I have seen these at Target, and a lot of other stores, and mainly Target. They have really beautiful boards like this, but I wouldn't call them like the most practical. Very enticing because they are very pretty, especially when you have gold accents like this, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's just better alternatives that you can customize. A luxury overnight lip treatment. I want to say my favorite brand ever is Burt's Bees. I have tried so many lip treatments and things like that. I feel like if you stay hydrated, if you drink a lot of water, if you use natural products, like beeswax is genuinely one of the best products that I've ever found in lip products. You don't need this. You don't need this. This is just one of those weird beauty products that are not sustainable. You're gonna forget. Overnight lip treatment, it's gonna come off if you're a side sleeper, if you sleep on your face, your belly or whatever. So I never understood lip treatments, so I already have a bias there. Mug warmer. Okay, this is where you invest in something like a stainless steel mug. They will take your drinks from hot to warm. Like, the drinks will never get cold. From my experience, I've owned multiple stainless steel cups. I would say Hydro Flask. Not sponsored, but Hydro Flask, highly recommend their mugs. They keep your drinks cold. Get anything above 24 ounces. The 12-ounce cups are too small. But they do keep your mugs, they do keep your drinks warm. So if, like, let's say 2 hours later after your meeting, right, as the story is depicted here, after that 2 hours, your drink will be warm. Okay? And that's fine. It's not going to be cold. It's going to stay warm. Trust me. Trust. Okay? Do not get this stupid mug warmer that you have to stay plugged in. There's already enough stuff plugged in, right? They expect, I feel like Buzzfeed expects you to plug something like this in, but not a wire or a keyboard that you actually need to, use your computer. Like, so have a wireless keyboard, but have a wired mug warmer. It just seems silly to me. These just seem like a waste of space on your desk, to be honest. And it's just more electricity being used. Okay, let's see. A reusable insulated sleeve, less slippery with condensation. Honestly, just use, I have the same feedback. Just use a stainless steel cup. It cuts back on the condensation. And reusable insulated sleeve, that's like another fabric that you're gonna have to wash, I feel like. I think these are usually made out of like some like special kind of textile, but this is just weird. If it's both the coffee shop disposable cups and if you order the right size, probably will fit your reusable iced coffee tumbler too. Get one cup and you'll be able to do everything, both cold drinks and hot drinks. Okay. A robo-vac between the kids, the dogs, and your 2 feet. Your floors need to be swept with on daily. Ordered days before. We've had multiple types, lower end and higher end, and they're just more maintenance. They get stuck. They harass your pets. Don't recommend. Just get a good quality vacuum. And also, these things don't tackle larger pieces. If you're going to tackle the larger pieces anyway of dust or whatever, just vacuum once a day. You're gonna have to go through your floors anyway, okay? If your cat throws up, speaking from experience, you don't want this thing going over it. This thing is gonna be smelly in a week if you have a cat that throws up all the time. So don't recommend. Just try to keep your home clean as best as you can. Just go over it once a day with a vacuum or even a broom, old fashioned. You don't have to, this is just more electricity sucked out of your home. So don't recommend. And they're also kind of an eyesore, but yeah, that's another thing. You can't really put it away. Okay. A glare-free Kindle Paperwhite. This is great. I feel like if you have a tablet, like many people do, you don't really need this. Just download the Kindle app on your... Wait, does the Kindle app... Can you create a Kindle account without the Kindle Paperwhite? I'm not sure. But I know, as somebody who has a Kindle Paperwhite, I also have Kindle on my phone. I can also download it on my tablet and read my books there. I'm pretty sure you don't need an actual Kindle to have the app. And there's also ways to read content or good books without a Kindle. I'm trying to think. Oh, and this is something you also have to keep charged. So just another electronic update. If you already have a tablet, just read your books on there or buy the physical book, or borrow books from the library. And it even mentions here you can get your Kindle set up with the local library. Now, if your local library doesn't have the physical book you want, chances are you can actually order it through your local library's website. A veggie chopper. I mean, this is what knives are for. This is another thing to maintain and store and clean. It just seems silly. Learn how to use a knife and do it carefully. And while it's not hard, something like this will still count as a total upgrade on weeknights. Yeah, this is just another one use item that I don't really agree with. A diamond dazzle stick. So this is assuming that everyone has wedding rings. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I feel like there might be a natural way to clean your gems. This just seems like another item that would be useful and a guilt-free purchase. But I don't know. I've seen products like this before in stores, and they just seem like a gimmick to me. There's got to be a natural way to just, clean it with your hand, make sure it doesn't get ruined. And I feel like sometimes these types of products have weird chemicals in them that can actually damage your gems. So just look out for that. A heart-shaped gold tea strainer. A lot of people don't like loose leaf teas because you're gonna have to clean this thing. And these are such a pain to clean, especially when leaves get stuck in these things. I love tea, and I went through a phase where all I would drink was loose leaf tea. But tea packets are just better, honestly. And I want to say, if you don't mind the maintenance, go for it. But chances are you probably have something like this that's already working great for you, especially if you're a long time loose leaf drinker. You probably already have something like this. Yes, it's so darn cute, but this just looks like a pain, and it probably doesn't hold as much of a scoop as your rounder one does. I've seen round versions of this that work better, but this is just another novelty item. Seat gap fillers. Yeah, this is great, but I feel like you can also makeshift this. Just buy some foam or something, or put like crumpled up like cardboard or something, and just build your own. This doesn't seem, it just seems like another thing you're gonna have to clean. Yes, food is not gonna go through it, but you still have to clean all the little crevices and stuff like that. This is also gonna get dirty. A Conair fabric shaver. There are other ways to shave your furniture, your acrylic sweaters, your wool socks. I've seen people use razor blades. It works just fine. And it doesn't have to be Conair. I actually have a fabric shaver that I absolutely love, and it's not a branded one. It's like an off-brand, and it works just fine. And also be careful if you've never owned a fabric shaver. Make sure everything is connected, like the top piece and stuff, before you start going in. And yeah, there are so many non-branded ones that would work just fine. Oh, and also you're gonna have to do it often. I don't shave my fabric as much as I used to because my sweaters pill all the time. I don't know why, but they just do, and I just don't like. I'll do it maybe once every couple of years. I'll just like bring out all of my fuzzy stuff and like my fleece lined pullovers and stuff and give them a nice shave. That's another reason to just buy something that's like more on the low end. But just be careful with the settings because it will snag. And also, you can't use this on everything. There are more delicate fabrics you can't use this on. So do your research, and it doesn't have to be on brand. Collapsible laundry basket. Honestly, so for me personally, I enjoy pop-ups as much as anyone else, but I feel like laundry bags are probably better because how I do laundry is I fill up my laundry bag that's not collapsible and I just throw it in with the rest of the clothes with the clothes in the washing machine, and then I dry everything together, and then that way when I put the clean clothes back into the laundry bag is clean. I never understood how people can put dirty clothes in a hamper like this or a laundry basket or anything and then not wash the container, take out the clean clothes from the dryer, put them back in the dirty container. I've never understood that. And maybe I have like OCD or something. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed. But that just never made sense to me. So instead of a collapsible one, you know what's more collapsible than plastic? Fabric. So honestly, just use a laundry bag. It's just better. But this is such a widely available product. You don't even have to buy. Okay, so it says love that it's collapsible and can be taken in our suitcase on trips. I doubt anyone is putting this in their suitcase, but okay, good for you. I actually also do laundry when I travel, like sink laundry, so that way I don't have to pack so many clothes. But yeah, it's interesting that they mentioned that. Amber soap dispenser. This is a big no for me. Putting anything glass in the bathroom, especially on the ledge or something like that, like a glass bottle, especially if you have kids or pets, that never made sense to me. I never understood amber glass bottles. Like truly, I want to say like for perfume or like maybe like skincare, things like things you can put away in a drawer or something like that. That's fine, but this is like you're putting this in a slippery area. I never understood using amber glass for things like this. They're really pretty, I'm not gonna lie. They have a botanical feel and I freaking love it. I love the aesthetic, but they're just not the most practical. Okay. Let's see. Stain mask. This is just another step in your beauty routine. Just use what you have. There's also lip stains out there that you don't have to peel. Like, that's just ridiculous. This is just a novelty product. It's just fun. That peeling feeling is just satisfying. A Crackham egg cracker and spoon rest. So this is just another product, a one-use product. Don't recommend. You have to clean it, maintain it, store it. Not worth. I've had so many novelty products for egg making over the years. It's ridiculous. A squatty potty. I have seen that these work for a lot of people, but I don't think it needs to be branded. You can find something like this at your local like pharmacy. Turby Twist. I've owned many brands, both low end and high end over the years. I have found that large towels will dry my hair faster than this. I do have very thick hair, that could be why, but this is, I have sworn off microfiber towels for my hair this year. A regular heavy huge body towel actually works much better if you're like actually just trying to dry your hair and get on with your day. This works so much better. The microfiber towels I've used over the years, like I will use them to like I will scrunch my hair and like try to get into my root to like dry my hair before actually blow drying it, so that way it doesn't take as much time. And I could feel the water through the microfiber towel. Like it is so, it's like a sensory nightmare because it's like, am I really drying my hair with a wet towel? It doesn't make any sense. So it doesn't have to be a huge body towel, but I find that these work for me personally. So, and also it doesn't have to be a branded item either. It does not. I've tried different, I've tried all the ones on the spectrum of hair dryers, drying towels, and it does not have to be branded. If you do want to experiment with it, start slow. A sunrise alarm clock. Another thing that takes up space. This is a very trendy piece. I see that they're comparing something more generic and a more trendy brand here, but alarms, or this will not wake up everybody, especially somebody who wears eye masks. It's just not a very sustainable item. And we're done. I hope you enjoyed that video. I really wanted to take a shot at the de-influencing content. Yeah, let me know what you think. Bye.